I fought unbeaten lad from Kazakhstan, who everyone was saying is like, oh, he's the next Golovkin, he's Olympic medalist and all that. And again, I was 33-1 underdog.
Yeah.
And I come off 2 years. Because of COVID, I didn't box. I had a fight in December.
Yeah.
And I just had the mentality like, I've got to win this fight at all costs. You get what I mean? And I did, and that's what got me the fight with Munguia, and that's what got me a contract in America, and got me my next fight, in which we'll build on. Not me shit-mouthing people. You know what I mean? I could have shit-mouthed and spoke bad about Munguia or whatnot, or any fighters in the past, but I was winning the fight against Munguia until I got caught, and it was just a size difference in people, obviously, being short notice.
Yes. Welcome to the 13th and final round podcast.
And today we have a special guest.
Jim Kelly's in the house.
The one and only. Yeah. And Jimmy, what's new?
What's new?
Tell me, what's new, man? What's new?
When you're a professional boxer, nothing's new. It's the same thing every day.
Eating, dieting, training, preparing.
And what are you preparing for? Tell me about him.
So I was supposed to fight the 4th of November in Florida, but last night I got a call and just said it's been put back to 9th of December, so...
They're scared.
Yeah, so I'll just leave it.
You're getting some attention in America after that performance.
Yeah, good performance.
Yeah, I've been lucky that, I got an opportunity and I took it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that led to another good fight, and, I've got a good little thing going over there, so I'm blessed, and, after the COVID where things were pretty quiet, it came about. I thought, this is my chance now. I've got to roll the dice.
The thing, you can only do that if you're in shape and you stay in the gym. And Anthony tells us that you are always in shape.
Gym, that's good.
Always training.
You can see it.
Because, like I said, it's your products, it's your tool in it, it's your body. And, I'm 30 now, so I've been doing it all my life. So I thought I need to keep myself looked after, and I do it. I said I don't drink. I live the life.
Yeah.
And if I do like eat rubbish and all that, I try to do everything in moderation. And and that's it. Yeah, just have to look after yourself.
She's 9 to 5, isn't it? 9 to 5.
So you've always been in boxing. From young.
Yeah.
And which amateur gym did you go to?
Went to Jimmy Egan's in Wimishaw.
Oh, Jimmy. Yes, I know Jimmy Egan. Yeah.
So it's like.
So how did you do in the amateurs?
So I've done all right. I won the schoolboys twice. I won the junior ABAs 3 times. I boxed for England. I've done all that sort of thing. I won medals in the European Championships and also had a good career.
A good caliber.
It was a good. It was a good time, like at Jimmy, because it was like me and Tyson Fury, like other people at the
I think I saw you spar with Tyson when you were 15, right? There's a clip of it. Yeah, I've seen that clip. Yeah.
So I'm like 10 stone lighter. We're also just messing around. Like, used to get in the ring, Tyson, and Steve would be like, right, 3 of us have got to jump in and all attack him at the same time.
Was he always tall?
Massive all the time.
Always.
I've never. Have you ever seen him? Have you been around him in person?
I've met him. York Hall, he boxed there. I went to his fights and I've seen him.
Seen a lot of people in boxing. I've never bumped.
He had long perm there then back in I thought, wow, that guy's big, man.
Even like 14, he was like a similar size. Yeah. But it must be in the genes, obviously, where...
Because his dad's big as well.
Yeah, his dad's huge. His dad goes... his dad lives near where my kids go to school, so you always see him like running past. But
what is he running for anyway?
I think he's just looking after himself with age, but he's like a man mountain, and he's as tall as he is wide. He's like a big cube that runs, and some of the like Tyson's nephews go to the same school, and even them like the head and shoulders above everyone in the class. They're just big genes. You get
crazy, isn't it? Because you look at guys like Wilder and Joshua, they're not small, but Tyson makes them look.
Even Frank Bruno was big at one time. He shrunk, because I met him.
Yeah, but you do.
Not as big as you see him on TV.
You get older, you do actually start shrinking, don't you?
I think when like you're training all the time and that, and obviously
you're stretching and stuff.
Yeah, you're stretching, but your muscles are pumped out. You obviously you're eating right and stuff like that. And I think you lose a bit of mass obviously when you get a bit older. Your testosterone's not there as much, and you're not training. You just like you seem to like shrink. I've seen it with like a few people.
100%. Your muscles do. Your estrogen levels go up. Your testosterone levels go down.
Well, obviously, when I first turned professional, you trained with Ensley Bingham.
Oh, I did as well.
Trained with Ensley as well.
Yeah, Ensley was like that. Like, we've seen pictures of him.
He's skinny now, isn't he? Like a hell.
And it's like he said, he's walked around at his fight weight, but he used to have to cut
Always.
for his fight weight. But and when you see videos of him, he's like top shape and like muscles like that, and then obviously over time, he's obviously just gone slim. Obviously, he's not training and whatnot, and obviously the other side of the coin is people go like bigger, don't they? You know,
I definitely did. When I started boxing, I went from, because I'm a nutritionist, that's what I do for a living. So I went from not knowing how nutrition worked and trying to eat one meal a day and be 10 stone. And now I'm like just eat normal and I'm 13 stone.
We feel healthier.
Oh, 10 times healthier. I've got just as much body fat now as I did when I was 10 stone.
You regret it now, you know what I mean?
Yeah, we didn't know what we were doing.
Yeah, we did the same thing. Sweatsuits, have ice cream, have ice cube, have nothing else. Not good. Dangerous.
I always think like you try to keep as fueled as you can through camp. Like I try not to worry too much about my weight.
Fluid.
Yeah.
I think, you know, when people, you have the argument, like I try and, you know, lose a little bit. I've got like, I know how much you can lose, you know, like maybe the day or so before. And people say, oh, you should diet right down. And I said, but, you know, as soon as I'm under like my natural walking around weight or like me sparring or me fight weight, or my rehydration weight, he said you're malnourished because you're under what you should be, and you've got to be doing all these spars and your sprints and all that, you know, the bar bag sort of thing. And
that takes a lot,
so I think I want to be fueled for that. You know what I mean? And I'd rather take it down towards the end. You know what I mean? I know I've got the fuel to get through the training.
I want to give a big shout out to our sponsors. It wouldn't be able to do the episodes or buy the equipment to do a podcast without the sponsors. So we're going to give a big shout out to
One Love Caribbean Food Shop in Bradford. Thank you very much.
The best Jamaican food in England, my wife will tell you. Also a big shout out to the Fat Loss King for sponsoring us. If you want to lose 5 to 20 pounds and look good for the summer, there's no better time than see results like this. Guys, keep on enjoying the podcast and don't forget to give us a shout out. Don't forget to like, share,
comment, subscribe.
And subscribe.
And subscribe as well. Yeah. Don't forget.
In your eyes.
Sorry, I hit my knee, mate. So.
That's what I mean, I need it.
Yeah, the problem is when we boxed, we thought that our trainers knew everything. So we like getting told things like don't drink too much water and things like that. The boxing trainer should be the boxing trainer. The nutritionist should be the nutritionist. The S&C guy should be the S&C guy. Ultimately, I mean, I just all day long, I've got like 600 plus clients and I just talked about nutrition all the time. I've got boxers as well as general public. But when you're dealing with boxers, it has to be sport specific. So you have to have a conversation with the trainer and saying, what's the style of the fighter? What's the weight of the fighter? What are you trying to achieve with the fighter? Does he lack power? We'll do this in S&C. He doesn't lack power, he lacks speed. We'll do this in S&C. It's supposed to come together. It's supposed to be like a jigsaw puzzle going together. Yeah. Whereas I think a lot of people focus too much on the S&C and it takes away from the performance as a boxer. You have that love-hate relationship between the boxer and S&C guy then, don't you?
Yeah.
But with nutrition and how nutrition works, unfortunately for boxing, it's still catching up. For guys like me, it makes me... When people talk to me about nutrition, the fighters talk to me about nutrition, they feel like I'm on a whole different level. But really what I'm saying is quite common sense. If you've got a car and you don't put petrol in a car, the car doesn't move.
Of course, yeah.
If you put too much petrol in a car, you flood the engine, it still doesn't move. So if we talk about our bodies, if we're eating burgers all day long, we're going to flood our system and it's going to be hard to get rid of stubborn fat. If we don't eat enough calories, though, are we going to teach our body to store fat? So how many fighters do you know get on a scale, make weight, but still got a little bit of a belly? Yeah, well, that's because, I can talk to you about that after if you want. That's because you've taught your body to hang on to some extra fat for survival because your body thinks if the next meal's not coming in, it better hold on to fat because if it doesn't hold on to fat, you're going to die. So then what it does it starts to break down your muscle. So a lot of guys, 4 or 5 weeks out, are in immaculate condition and the week of the fight, they just kill the performance.
They eat the muscle away.
They're eating the muscles away. Where there's an exact science to it. So when Anthony was on last week, it was talked about this. Like if you know your BMR, you figure out from your BMR, that's exactly that calculation is how many calories you burn and do. No, it's a mathematics game. Yeah. So we know that's how many calories you burn and doing just sat in a seat watching Netflix all day. Then what we do is we fuel you 200 calories above it. Yeah. And then we mathematically put heart monitor on. You'll see a lot of the top guys with heart monitors on. What they're doing is they're tracking calories now. So they say, right, so if we're 200 up, we've got to finish the day after exercise for you to make weight, because me as a nutritionist, I'd figure out exactly what you tell me you need to make weight. So that calculates 852 calories from your boxing workouts. Right. So then I tell the trainer, and then the trainers, you max out, you want to do, let's say 12 rounds of sparring, but you're in the 9th round and you're approaching 850 calories. Yeah. Well, you stop. Because now what you're doing is you're effectively, if you go for the next 3 rounds, you're going into your muscles and into your performance. Catabolic. Yeah, your body got catabolic. You want to stay anabolic. So you always want to be, it's better to be undertrained than overtrained. Because if you're ever in a fight overtrained, you got nothing to pull out. If you're in a fight slightly undertrained, you can pull it out.
I'm watching a podcast with Joe Rogan. I think it was George St. Pierre's coach. Talking about not to overtrain. And he said it's better to be consistently trained every single day, but not push yourself to your limit, than to do hard Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, have a shit Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. More consistent. I think as I've got older, when I was younger, I used to train like double hard, but now I try and take that ethos where
tick over,
even between fights. Like I'm doing something like I'll swim or I'll cycle.
Do something fun. Do something fun. Like
when you come to train, it's not fat camp then, or it's not like you having to get yourself in shape. Like I know I've got the engine to get in and do me 10 or 12 round spars. It's just a fact to like sharpen up and sorting yourself out. Yeah, I mean,
we were talking to Anthony about it last week, because Anthony was one that like. Do you watch it? Were you old enough, or did you watch back at it?
I used to go watch him.
Were you? How old were you when he was fighting?
There's a picture of me and Arnie. Do you know what the mad thing is? And it's like, it's things that go like proper full circle. Yeah. Is the picture of me with Arnie. And he fought the Forum, and he had that WBO Intercontinental.
It's up there.
WBO.
Like middleweight.
Yeah.
And then I've won the same one twice at the same weight. WBO Intercontinental. So it's like mad that. But there's a picture of me and Arnie together, like, and I'm like, I think it's 96, so I was like 4 or 5.
Right.
My kid's age now. And it's funny how like life comes full circle.
Yeah. Well, when he was boxing, he brought intensity, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. He was exciting.
Like he was exciting, but he was serious and
mental.
And talking to him last week was really insightful, because you can see the development in his personality and his character. He's grown up a lot, because he didn't know how to necessarily enjoy the moment. He was like, I'm going to kill you.
Yeah, everything was aggressive.
Super intense, right?
Intense.
And it was a Manchester thing. When I used to come across from Sheffield, where we were trained over here, you could feel the environment. Yeah. The problem is if you're sparring like that every day and you're training like that every day, it does make you stronger. But at the same time, how long can you maintain it for? There needs to be a time frame, like we're 4 weeks out from the fight, we're turning it up. You just can't live like that all the time.
It's like when I used to be training with Van L in the gym, like Brian Hughes, every day when we're sparring, it's a war. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's no good for you. And when I moved to the different gym, I tried the Sheffield gym, tried different gyms, it's all different how to spar. Because sparring is like taking a fight out of you. You know what I mean? So how do you do it now? Do you do heavy sparring still, or do you line it up?
I think you've got to find a mixture. So I think more for confidence, that you want to hit that heavy spar.
Yeah.
Do you do it often though? That's what I'm trying to say.
No.
Yeah.
Like, might have like 1 or 2 campers. Like
have you ever tried the body sparring? Because I can see a lot of Manchester people have taken that on now. That's a Sheffield thing, that the body sparring, where they do that every single day to keep your conditioning sharp.
I think it's good for conditioning, but I think it's different because people just stand there, don't they?
Yeah.
And I think you can hit a lot of elbows and that.
That's done properly. That's been done properly. There's too many people
do it. You don't have to do it, but if you go to Sheffield, it shows to do it properly. You do hit targets. And you have to do your movements and stuff, you know what I mean?
Still got to hold your hands in a similar position.
Yes, that's right.
So people start doing
because you always get this in the jaw, like with Jason Collins, remember? So always punching neck or in the jaw, you know what I mean? You got to still keep your defence, but it's just to the body.
So I think if a spar, like obviously, if you watch a fight and you've got a few ideas, I'll always think, well, that's what I'm going to do. Like I'm not bothered if I win or lose a spar. I'll have an idea what I want to do. I want to. The fight against Monkey was just angling all the time. And
that was a good fight. I watched that.
Yeah, listen, you totally changed style from when you fought Liam. You were a pressure fighter, and even that last knockdown, you were moving your head and you were slipping, and there's talent there, isn't there? There's a lot of talent there.
That is good boxing. That's like, you know what I mean? If you're in trouble, change. And that is really good. You got two little motions there.
Yeah.
Really good, that.
Because I think, I think after I fought Liam, it was, I knew that I was a pressure fighter, and I'd sort of had my own way in the career, and I felt like I had some good success against Liam, but I felt like on the back foot was where I was lacking, and you know, I was training at Champs Camp. It was all like your bar bagging, your aggression, and I thought he was aggressive, Liam, but he said it was things like, we have the rhythm of bar bag where it's like you people fight and then you step back and have that bounce, don't then you go
back in again.
And I always noticed that when I step back and took that bounce, he jumps on me then. Yeah. And it was more like a mental thing where it's like I'm not having me reset, like my mental reset here.
So where would you get that boxing style from then? Did you do it yourself, or did someone?
Is that adjustment with Anthony?
Yeah. So before when I moved from Champs Camp, I went with Lee Bird for a couple of fights.
Lee Bird, because he's technical as well.
And Lee Bird's a good trainer, and you know I learnt a lot of stuff off that. And then I think I found the medium because it was like on one side I was quite aggressive, and then when I was with Lee Bird, my style maybe went a little bit boring and a little bit defensive and moving. Then I sort of like pulled them both together when I've gone with Arnie, and it gelled like really good. Yeah. You know what I mean? But
I like the way he thinks. I did the opposite way around. I was good on the back foot and all the rest when I was training at the Ingles, but I knew someone got inside. I didn't know what to do with tying them from the side. But I did the other way around. I came to Manchester to learn how to do it.
I did the other way around.
Did you do it the way around? Like
I came to Manchester and then went that way. Yeah. Well, Champs Camp. What year were you there?
So I turned pro. My dad used to box there when he was in
your dad?
The 90s, Jimmy Kelly.
Also. Oh, Jimmy Kelly, yeah. And what the year were you there?
I was there I think it was 2010, because I was still in college.
2010. I left there. I went to Joe Pennington's. I used to train there. With Morris and that.
Morris is fine.
He's funny man. He's a funny lad. But I trained there and I went to Joe Pennington's. But I used to pass there now and again, so I might have walked past you. I don't know. I think who ran it then? Who ran the gym? He had two trainers there.
So like at the time,
it was Joe Gallagher. No, it wasn't. It was that short guy. Brody was there as well. Ray.
What's he called?
Yeah, Brody's trainer.
Yeah.
That's the one who.
It was just the end as I got there. It was it was when Steve Foster was with.
Steve Foster was there.
He just knocked out of that
Junior. Steve Foster Jr.
Yeah. He just beat that Russian kid that everyone was scared of that for the European title. You know what I mean? And that's the time that I went, because I went to like Loretto College around the corner. And I thought there's like. You have like certain lessons in the morning, then you might have like 3 or 4 hours off. So I thought, I'll go there.
12 o'clock there, isn't it?
Yeah, so like 12 o'clock every day, get in, do me bit, have a shower and go back to college. It just started off like that, and then obviously I turned professional. So it was a good apprenticeship, because it's a tough gym. Yeah,
it is. You know, work hard.
It's always been a tough environment.
Yeah, work hard. It's that Phil Martin mentality they've taken on still, and they've carried it on with that. You know what I mean? Good history. I like going to that gym and just looking around, the history.
They've still got that kind of intensity, do you think?
Yeah, they've still got the same thing.
And adapted it a little bit?
Not really. I don't. Just kept the same thing. But as you go in that gym, you see the photographs and you can see the history. I enjoy going there.
There's a lot of champions coming out there at one point.
Got a lot of feels about it.
Yeah.
It's always good, when you was young and you had like Morris there and he's telling you stories. Carl Thompson would put her in.
Yeah,
he'd have his chat about his fights at Eubank and whatnot. And when you're a young kid and you turn professional, it's it's good for you to see, and you're learning a lot.
I was at both fights.
I was in a camp, the Eubanks one. I would train at the Phoenix with Vicky and Carl, and good build up for the Eubanks fight.
Yeah, you can't beat build ups for fights. I mean, the fights are good and stuff like that, for like my own experience, but it's always the camp and the build up which you enjoy.
Yeah, really. You take that in well.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people get that nervous, don't they? It's weird how you get nervous at different stages.
You do.
In camp, before the fight, in the changing rooms. How are you in the changing rooms just before you're about to go out?
Nervous. I think that's when my nerves kick in.
Is that when it gets you? Yeah.
I'm not really that nervous up until
walking out.
It's the venue. We're at the venue now. Right, nerves switch on, and then once I start, it's just more of my hand wrapped. And as soon as it's like you've done your pads. It's like, right, you've got 5 minutes. Nerves are gone. Then it's like,
it happens.
Yeah,
I think.
Do you find when you're walking out, then the nerves disappear? It's like you're here.
Yeah. It's like
when the music comes on, all the friends cheering for you. It's like, right, not messing about.
It's just like it's an out of body. It's
weird,
like a bit of an out of body stage.
Yeah, you come
like
into a gladiator, it's like you change automatically.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think it takes a few weeks. For me, it takes a few weeks, obviously, to build up and stuff like that. It's been good. Like the last couple of fights have been in the States, so I've been away from the family now, which has been a good to build up. Yeah, I mean.
Yeah.
You met De La Hoya in the change rooms after the fight.
Yeah.
How was that?
It was nice. Like I said, I wasn't given a chance in that fight, and you know, I only took it on short notice.
Yeah.
I took it like 4 weeks before. And I don't think they expected much, to be fair. It was just sort of like, get Munguia a fight. And, you know, I was coming off confidence from the last fight because I was a 33-to-1 underdog in the last fight. And
Got out to lose.
Yeah, so I thought, I got nothing to lose. Yeah, I mean, it's a mass opportunity. It's my second fight headlining in the States. Yeah. It's another box ticked, and, you know, it's my daughter's birthday, so I thought, it's for me to do it tonight. You get what I mean? But you just come in and you said, like, yeah, we were panicking and thinking, we've got the rematch clause in because it looks like we're going to have to use it. But, you know, I felt like I was doing all right. It was just too big. Like, from a nutrition point, you put on like 30-odd pounds from the way into the fight.
And this is the difference, right? Yeah. So he will definitely, because of the law and all the rest, have guys like me who can literally just break down the food information to them. That's why when I work with boxers, I'm quite privileged that I've got lots of clients, so financially I'm okay. Yeah. So when it comes to fighters and helping fighters, I just do it for free because I want boxing to get better when it comes to nutrition. I want the fighters to understand. Because ultimately, if you don't get it right, I hate even talking about it. One night, it might be your last night.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
You've got a job now. He's going to hire you.
Yeah, I don't mind. I'll help him for free. No problem. Like, to try and get guys to understand that you don't actually have to die to make weight. It's just
be miserable as well.
It's just preparation, and it's like
that's the thing. You've got to go through camp and not be miserable, like with your weight. Like I rarely do. Like, you know, I've got like a weight where I think if I get to that weight, I know people say, but I'd lose the last few pounds pretty easy. I've done it so many times. I feel all right. And I hate that feeling of when like you're in camp and people like sweatsuit runs and all that. Like I don't do it.
Good.
I don't train to make weight. I just think, right, I've got to train every day for my performance. Yeah. And
it's good attitude.
And if I'm doing the right things, then working hard and stuff like your weight comes down naturally.
You know, the only time when I dieted properly when Dominic put me on a good diet for the English title. Really good. No, he did. He put me on a good diet.
Tell us what a good diet.
From 12 stone, from 12 stone, I got down to 11 stone 6. And I was strong, I was fit, I was happy. What were you happy. I won't wear no sweatsuit. And I was eating properly. I was eating 3-4 meals a day, constantly. You know what I mean? But portions. And I felt happy. That's the best time I've ever felt.
It's fueling and burning.
Yeah.
And knowing how to do it.
And then when I jumped on the scales, I was a bit lighter because I was nervous. You know what I mean? Driving down. But
you're totally different. If you do the nutrition the proper way and then you get in the ring, you feel so confident.
So good, you feel so good.
Especially when you get the scales and you've put the weight back on. I felt like that when I thought because the fight was a little bit heavier than the middleweight, obviously to suit Munguia. It was between like middle and super middle. Yeah. But I still put like 12 pounds on it. I thought, I've done all right.
Yeah. You're happy, you wore your body.
So I thought, I've done all right. So I thought maybe he's put a little bit more than me on, but not much. And then he's like 33 pounds. I seen him next day, and he's like that. And I'm thinking, it's going to be a right old night tonight. I mean?
He knows where Manchester is now, doesn't he?
Yeah, exactly.
He definitely knows where Manchester is.
So what do you do outside the ring apart from boxing?
Family. Just got a family.
Just family. You don't like it? And you got anything like you? What do you do? Like, do you go out, socialise?
Of course,
you know what I mean?
Really. He's a professional.
He's
not like you, mate.
Like socialise, you go and play a bit of pool or do something different.
Not really, no.
You just spend more time with your family and just dedicate. That's good, man. And you don't work or nothing, do you?
I've got a gym that I do a bit of personal
training. Okay, tell us about it.
Yeah, I think just I got to a point where, you know, I was doing all right boxing and I had a bit of spare time and that, and I thought, my mate, he had a garage in Withenshaw that he opened, and he had like a space on top of it, and you know, he mentioned like, would you want to do a bit of a gym and that? I was like, yeah, why not? You know what I mean? And then it's just like, I've got me regular clients that I help out. I've got a few young lads which are doing well. Boxing, you've had a couple of fights and that, and I think that'll obviously be a natural progression.
It's what I did. It's what I did. I wanted to take it serious, so I moved away from working with people. I got as successful as I could do working with people in the gym. Yeah. And now what I've done is I've taken it on to worldwide. So I've got an app. I filmed 10K plus exercises, upload them to app. I've uploaded all the nutrition onto an app. I use TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. I've got 120,000 followers across all the handles. And as I'm speaking now, if I was to switch my phone on, I'll have about 500-600 DMs. I don't do it anymore. I've got like 4 workers that deal with all my social media.
Yeah, because if you've got a big following like that, you've got messages galore, aren't you?
Yeah.
Every day.
What I love about it is I'll go to my computer after, I'll look at my diary, and I've got 10 phone calls booked for consultation calls to take clients on.
Yeah, well, if you enjoy it, you enjoy it. Yeah, it's actually a passion. It's not like work, is it?
Yeah. But the good thing is I can help more people because I don't have to with them 24/7. I can put it on an app. I've got clients in America. I took 2 on from LA this week, 1 in Singapore. Wow. So you take clients on all over the world. But the next year, me and my wife want to move to Bali.
He's not going. No, he's not going. Hey, don't
I'll
encourage
come back
him.
for the podcast.
Don't encourage him, man.
No, but the thing is, when we do the
right?
podcast, we do it in bulk, right? So I can come back every 3 months, have a week of podcasting, film 10 episodes. Let's say 12, because that's 3 months, 1 a week. Go over there, enjoy my life for 3 months, come back and do it.
A mate who's done something similar, he's moved to Bali. I think he's got an online like nutrition.
Same
What's his
kind
name?
Yeah.
Don't say he's called John. You're looking at him.
Yeah.
And he just, I think he obviously makes a good wage, and the cost of living over there is
peanuts.
So I think he just does like Brazilian jiu-jitsu every day and just chills. And
if you're earning £300 here and you go over there, that's like earning £3,000 a month.
Yeah, so it's better quality of life.
Yeah, massive quality of life. So that's the idea. You take the sterling and you're living in a cheap economy, but then you've got blue waters, waterfalls, sand. It's just a better lifestyle. But that's what we want to do, innit? So it's like when you're boxing, you've got to be focused on what you're doing. But have you thought about after boxing where you'd like to go? Yeah. You talked about doing some of the training, but do you have a long-term plan? Do you want to be staying in the industry? Do you want to be training fighters, or is it
managing fighters or promoting shows, put your own shows on? You know what I mean?
You haven't thought that far ahead?
Not really. I think coaching, I think business side and that like it.
Yeah.
That's the part of boxing that I don't really like.
I
don't want to get involved.
No one does really.
Yeah. That's the good part about Arnie. Arnie's like just stays to his training. I think in boxing sometimes you have somebody or people that try and do all the jobs.
Yeah.
I think like you said before, you stick to like your nutrition and your
stick to what you know.
And I think, instead of going, I'm going to be a manager and promoter and do small shows as well as training.
Too much headache.
You spread yourself too thin, and I think for me, like, I take my job as a dad really serious. You know what I mean? And I think I've lived my dream. I've done well. You know what I mean? I've won titles galore. I've earned good money. I've boxed all over the world. Yeah. Still got loads left in the tank, so I can sit back and say, I've achieved my dreams.
Yeah, you are an interesting character.
Yeah,
like I said to you, you're like the game Assassin's Creed. You're a little bit of an assassin because
you changed.
I came in last week and you smiled when I came in. I thought I recognise that face, and I was trying to clock it. But then when you thought Liam Smith, you had hair. And then I've seen you in interviews having completely shaven, no beard.
Took it off.
And then you wear glasses, and sometimes you don't wear glasses. It's like James Bond, MI6.
Yeah, exactly.
It could change your appearance really.
So what is going to be for America then when you go over? What, you going to take the beard off, a clean shave?
So what I do always, do you know what I think is that it's like my camp beard, so you can always tell like if I'm fighting because of my beard. And then like I normally shave it like say after the weigh-in, like to a 2-3.
Sucked in.
Yeah. And then after the fight, I clean shave, like fresh start. That's me done. Like back to being like
you.
Me. And then so obviously my fight was only just put back yesterday, so I'll probably trim my beard a little bit, and then I'll let it grow again till the fight in December. So that'll be me.
December's back in America.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. So what's home life like? Home, wife, and everything.
Yeah, I've got a missus.
Married or just missus?
No, we're organising the wedding now.
Nice
it's one of the things that like it should have been done sooner, but
Yeah.
You know, then you have a kid, and then you have another kid.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Just life passes you by before you know it. Like, it's been a couple of years now. Like, we've said we're going to do it. So I was like, right, you know, I've had a few good fights. Let's do it now. I mean, like,
it's there and you can get it done.
Yeah, she's the perfect mum. She's the perfect partner. I've got 2 perfect kids. At times, a pain in the ass.
Good. What age are they?
So I've got my son just turned 6 and my daughter's 4.
Right.
So I've got one of each. And yeah, like I think my path after that would be is them. Like, I've achieved my dreams, and it's for me to go
getting them to achieve their dreams.
Yeah, like it's not. I see myself like after boxing. You know, I'm not going to need much for like money wise. I'm not materialistic.
Yeah.
And, you know, I mean, I've like probably 1 or 2 nice outfits, and that's it. Like, I live my tracksuits more.
And his shoes.
Do you know what it was, mate? It's
shoes, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? You didn't get it from Manchester, did you?
My son loves it. He goes, Daddy, can I get a pair of them?
You didn't get it from Manchester, did you?
If you kick a
from
football,
down strange ways.
Plus the football,
the proper things these out there.
Football ones, so I think
foul someone.
When because I've been in these tracksuits and training, sweating, as you know.
Yeah.
And the fight got put back yesterday. I thought, do you know what? I'm not
dress up. Yeah,
dress up. I'm gonna throw my tracksuits away for a few days and dress up. But then when it comes to me retiring, I mean, Mrs. She put a lot on hold for us. You get what I mean? Mrs. used to be cabin crew, and then she's obviously took a step back from things as I've took on my career, and you know, it's been financially beneficial. But then I'd like to go, do you know what? Like, I've done my bit now. You go and do what you want to do.
Yeah.
The kids can do what they want to do, and you know, everything obviously over to them.
You're very level-headed.
That's very good.
It's fair though, isn't it? Yeah, I mean, it's fair. If she wants to, I know she'd want to go back and work cabin crew, and I don't know what my kids are going to want to do, but by that time, whatever they want to do, you know, I want to make sure that, you know, my dreams are done.
Yeah.
I mean, and if I achieve, if a world title will be the pinnacle, and I still feel like I've got a world title in me given the right opportunity. And
what would you like to go for a world title?
I'm hoping that after this fight, they're saying that they've got like a WBA regional belt that they're looking at putting on, and they're saying Erislandy Lara, the Cuban fella, he's probably the one that is looking like, saying that Golovkin's got to fight Falcao, a Brazilian fella. And the WBA, you have 2 belts, don't you? Have like a super champion, a regular, so to say. I could be in the right spot going into the new year for
how about calling Chris Eubanks Jr. out?
Hey, do you know what, mate? Without being horrible, like all that, like social media boxer and you know, like gimmick fights and that, like leave that to him. You know what I mean? That he called out Jake Paul and all that, and he's fighting because his dad fought Ben and all that. Leave all them to it. You know I mean, I'm not interested in that social media stuff, and I'm not interested in all that like proper fights for me. You know what I mean? Get me world title, and I'm happy with that.
Yeah, it's funny, isn't it, right? Because what should really happen in a perfect world, like just someone who works in a 9-to-5 job, you go in, you put your head down, you work hard, you get promoted to management, and you keep climbing the ladder, right?
That's it.
Don't work that way, does it? No, it's usually the one who kisses up to the manager and I'm here, and unfortunately, that's sports now. Like, fighters start calling each other out, start talking crap, start talking shit to each other. They get the big money fights, right?
Yeah, I think
not every fighter wants to do that, though.
I don't want to do that. Yeah. That's just not me.
Precisely.
Because I'm not someone to call somebody out.
Yeah, you just wait and see in it.
If it's fights offered, like, you know, I've had some tough fights offered. I remember, like, people say, "Oh, you got to call people out. That's how you get the fights." It's like, well, no, you fighting gets you fights. You get what I mean? When the fight before Munguia fought unbeaten lad from Kazakhstan, who everyone was saying is like, oh, he's the next Golovkin, you know, he's Olympic medalist and all that. And again, I was 33-1 underdog. Yeah. And you know, I come off 2 years. Because of COVID, I didn't box. I had a fight in December. Yeah. And I just had the mentality like, I've got to win this fight at all costs. You get what I mean? And I did, and that's what got me the fight with Munguia, and that's what got me a contract in America, and got me my next fight, in which we'll build on. You know, not me shit-mouthing people. You know what I mean? I could have shit-mouthed and spoke bad about Munguia or whatnot, or any fighters in the past, but, you know, I was winning the fight against Munguia until I got caught, and it was just a size difference from people, obviously, with it being short notice. Yeah. That's what got me the respect, that's what will get me
Yeah. There's definitely two ways. The way you're doing it is more honourable. It does take longer, unfortunately, but I think it's the right way.
You get there on merit, don't you?
It's precisely. It's what you're comfortable with. Because if you talk a load of shit and can't back up,
I think as well. Like I think people. I don't know, how do you say it about sounding?
No, say it, man.
Do you want people like, oh yeah. It sounds like cliche when those say like when you had that Jake Paul, he's like calling people out.
Yeah,
it's not me to get back into that like back and forth. I'm like, mate, I'll just get a plane to where you are, and I'll just knock on your gym and go, "Hey, mate, like I'm not involved in that back and forth."
Man-cuning mentality.
That's it.
Man-cuning mentality, man.
We
don't mess about in it.
I was like, mate, I'm not into that back and forth stuff. Like, I know people, it's just selling the fight, but it's not as personal. Like, you have to dig it, mate. I'll just turn up to it. I'll get a plane to America and go, all right, mate, like, what we saying? Like, I'm here. I'd rather fight you for free than
you don't like being wound up, do you?
No, like, I'm respectful, you get what I mean? I'm respectful.
But you don't like being wound up.
And then I expect that back.
It gets to you when you can start doing all that rubbish in your head. It winds you up.
Yeah, because some of them guys will talk and then someone comes around the corner and puts them on the spot, they're all backtracking out there. There's a lot of guys out there like that, do you know what I mean? You got to back up your boast. But you got to be comfortable with who you are, do you know what I mean? I don't get caught. Sometimes when I see two fighters going back and forwards, I could see through it sometimes. You know, I wasn't really interested in the Conor Benn and Eubanks fight.
It's a cover-up, that. It's all a cover-up sometimes, you know what I mean? To get people to buy tickets to come to the show. Just relax, man.
It's something I've never got with. Like, they try to push that big for the Liam Smith fight, like, massive. Like, they really try to put it into, like, I remember getting past a note of someone saying, like, cause an argument. I was at press conference, got a note, I was like, cause an argument, and I'm like, it's just not me. I've got to be authentic to myself, and I'm not like that. You get what I mean?
To be fair, Liam Smith ain't like that either.
No, he's quite.
Yeah, he's not like that. He's just turn up a fight as well, won't he?
Yeah, so that's the thing. I think the problem is now everything's got to be like big arguments and beef back and forth, and they both hate each other, and it's like Instagram videos going back and forth slagging each other, and it's just like what happens to like being a gentleman's sport. And
I know. You know, it's not gentleman's sport no more. It's changed.
If you look at like in the old days when like Ray Robinson,
that's how it started.
Used to be 20, like, you know, used to have 20, 30 fights a year. You get what I mean? And you used to be like working a job.
Yeah.
You know, you might go to the docks in like the film Cinderella Man. It was a respectful thing like that now. And now you've got like YouTubers and people that can't fight making more money than actual fighters.
Making more money than us.
You know, and that's just, people might say it's unfair, but it's the free market and they can do whatever they want. People can pay what they want, and there's obviously something there for them.
That's the difference between the amateurs and the pros, I guess. Billy Joe in the house. That's the difference between the amateurs and the pros, because a lot of the people that I talk to say that the amateurs are more competitive, because when you turn up, you got to fight whoever's
of course,
the tournament, right? So sometimes the amateurs can be, well, the amateurs are harder than the pros.
It's definitely.
Do you know what I mean? This is prize fighting, doing it. So prize fighting now is about
business. It's business, and it's like an experience from.
I boxed in Australia, and I remember there was like a show like 2 weeks before, and I thought, I'm gonna just have a watch and see what the atmosphere is like beforehand. But say like if you look at a show in the UK, like just culturally, like the boxing, it's like, all right, 2-0 against someone that's like 5 and 80 losses.
Yeah.
But in Australia, it's like, all right, you're 2-0, he's 2-1, you two are fighting.
Yeah.
He's 1 win, 1 loss, you're 1-0, you're both fighting.
Yeah,
and a lot of fights are more competitive.
Yeah. Would you say that's an American and an English thing, the journeyman thing?
I don't think as much in the States and that. Like,
you think it's an English thing?
Nah, I think it's a Don King thing. Journeyman, because I think he made money off the journeyman. You know, because it's all about making money.
Do you think the journeyman thing's still a thing over here? Do you think it's starting to die out?
No, I think
I think
if you go through like the shows are like a British show and you look like a small hall one, it's just 90 all. They're all just like
journeyman to bring him through, to bring your fighter through. So if you're putting a show and you got your fighter, you can get him a journeyman, but it's which journeyman you get for him to bring up in the ratings. You know what I mean?
I'm taking less money. I'm not. I've got a TV slot and all that. It's tough to get through.
Yeah, how is that for you? Like when you're fighting in front of a massive crowd on TV and then you've got to go back to a smaller show.
I just see it as a fight. A fight's a fight.
Fight. That's just a good attitude. That is, you don't care where you are.
Remember, there's one thing that I'm not asked about fighting on TV. It's like, oh, people get to know me. I'm never bothered. Like, if a fight's a fight, and even like the last fight where it's like, oh, it's 30,000 Mexicans. I'm not bothered, mate. It's at the end of the day.
It's brilliant. It's brilliant.
That's one thing that's never bothered me is crowds. Like people say, like, oh, how do you feel? Like, well, they're not there with him. If they rush the ring and all jumps in, it's a different story. But thankfully, they're not like so.
It's so good to have that. I think like I was not like that mindset.
So if you feel like that, why are you nervous?
I think it's the pressure you put on yourself.
Yeah, it's expectation.
I mean to win and stuff. And
it's the expectation of what he wants to do. But I think I wish I had his attitude when I was younger though, because I think that when I used to turn around, Naz and other big celebrities would walk into the gym. Just don't like that. But ultimately, now I'm 44 years of age and look back and it's like they're only human. They bleed like I bleed. They go home, take a dump like I do. Do you know what I mean? But having attitude while you're at your stage is a good thing.
I think, like you said, the nerves is like you have like a high like expectations and you have high standards for yourself and you want to meet them. You know what I mean? Like that fight before the Munguia one in Florida, fought like I said the unbeaten Kazakh, and the fight before. He fought a guy that was like 28-1 and knocked him out in 14 seconds. And I was like, Olympic silver medalist, he's knocking everyone out. I think he's like 28-0 with 24 knockouts, so it was a tough fight. And I remember thinking, like, I've not boxed in like 2 years. You know what I mean? COVID. I lost to Dennis Hogan, who's just won the world title against Sam Egerton.
Yeah.
Said I boxed him in Australia and I thought I was unlucky not to get that. But then I had a 6-rounder after that. It went quiet, you know what I mean? The phone didn't ring and for fuck's sake. And then I had that fight got offered, but then it fell right that I got a 6-rounder in beforehand. And then, I thought, I'm 29, I've got 2 kids. The money for the fight wasn't the best. And I thought, this is my last opportunity. And I thought, for me, if I'd lose to this Kanat Islam, that's me done at that level. Like, I'm not going to drop down. And I thought, if I lose, I'm done. So, and
you won't carry on?
No, I thought I'm not going to carry on. Like, I might have fought different after the fight, but I thought it's been hard these 2 years. And I remember thinking, right, I know what people say, but it's got to be do or die. And I remember I had in my mind, like Alexander the Great, like, you've got to burn the boats and you can't have anything. I didn't give myself a plan B. I thought, this is it, I'm done. And I remember thinking, and it's not nice saying people won't like it, but I've got to be truthful. Like, I thought, I've got to be willing to die in this fight now. It's a tough fight. It's a massive puncher. I'm away from home. I've got to do it. And I remember I fought him 25th of Feb, but I left to go to a camp in the States on Boxing Day. I remember like Christmas Day, my kids are like opening their presents, and I thought, I'm going to say bye now. Like, this is my bye, and I've got to be willing in my mind. Because obviously I don't want to fucking die in a fight, but I think, sometimes
I know exactly what you mean.
You've got to think about the pace.
If you have a business, you go, I've got to put everything into this business. I've got to go for broke, and if it doesn't work,
at least I know I've done it.
You tried it.
I've been there recently, actually. I've been in that situation recently where it was either go bankrupt or come through. Do you know what I mean?
I think
but
that
fighters have to have that.
And people won't like it. I remember, like, I think he said it a few years ago, Bellew, and I think Steve Bunce went mad. But, obviously I don't want to pass away. You know what I mean? But you've got to have that mindset of, like, this is the lengths that I've got to go through to win this fight. And then I won it, you know what I mean? And against all the odds, it was like, I think it went under the radar because obviously I'm not like on social media, and I'm not like a Matchroom or a Frank Warren and blah blah fighter. Yeah. And I think he wasn't, because he was like from Kazakhstan. Yeah. But you look at like the likes of Golovkin, but he boxed a lot of his fights over there. Yeah. And a couple in America, so he's trying to break into that American market. Yeah. He fought, lost to Liam Smith, lost to Dennis Hogan. He's a perfect person for this fight. Yeah. And I think when you look back at it, I remember I was chatting to Aki Kareem that does like British boxing.
Yeah, BBB TV.
Mate, the odds of you winning. Yeah. Said no one's won a fight like that. He said when Sean Porter and Kell Brook, I think Sean Porter was like 7-1 or something. So obviously Kell Brook was 7-1 or whatever it is, underdog.
Yeah.
He said Lloyd Honeyghan was like 16-1, so I was double that and I won. And they said, he's like, do you not feel like shitty that you didn't get the recognition? I was like, no, I'm not asked. You get what I mean?
That's not your job.
No, it's not my job. I won the fight. I come home and I switched off from social media and chilled with my family, and that's all I've got to do.
I think you got the right attitude. I think
Good man.
there's certain things I can't say to active fighters that I can say to people that are the other side of it. You know what I'm trying to say, right? You just don't do it. But, like, because you just see things differently once you're outside of boxing. When you're in it, you're so emotionally invested in it, which is right, because it's got to be all or nothing. You've got to be willing to go into the ring and put your life on the line. You've got to be able to trust the people in the corner know when to do their job.
Yeah, of course,
Because ultimately, if they don't, you're going to potentially
come out
not come out. Do you know what I mean? And we know there's trainers that have like not cared for the fighters as well as they should have done.
Push them in the ring, you know,
stop
get
it.
one more round, get back in.
But the fighter shouldn't have to look at the corner and say it like that. They should know.
From himself.
Yeah.
I was lucky, like I said, with the Islam fight. I think one judge gave it a draw, but really it should have been 8-2, 9-1. I bossed the fight. I think he was just looking to load up with every shot, and I just was able to use my angles, and you know that was a good camp. I just really enjoyed that camp, and you know we went over like obviously weeks before the fight, and it was just like a good feel. You know what I mean, it was good to be away from the kids and the family, and just get into that mindset. And again, I wasn't put in that position with the Munguia fight because obviously I was winning, and then I just got caught in round 5, and I got open, and I got caught again. And the referee stopped it. But the mad thing was, it's the first time I've been properly down, and I didn't feel that badly hurt. You know what I mean? But it was just his size; he was just too big.
Yeah, overwhelming.
Yeah, and I was winning the first 4 rounds, but I had the feeling of like I'm in 4th gear and he's like cruising.
I know what you mean.
He just felt like his presence,
holding
in
him
the
off, keeping
massive.
him off. Yeah.
He just felt like nearly 200 pounds on fight night from like 165.
Yeah.
And I was like, what, 177, 178, something like that. Fucking massive. Got big head on him. And
What did he say? What did he say to you after the fight?
He didn't speak. He's Mexican, so his English is a bit broke. But he said like, well done. I'll bring you over for sparring and whatnot in the future. Like, oh, yeah, cool, no.
Yeah.
You know, you look at it now, right? If you're on the streets, and you fought that same guy, you won't be bothered about what he weighs. It's weird, isn't it, when you go in the boxing ring? You're thinking about pick the weight and is he heavier than me or whatever. But end of the day, I think you have to start looking at it like a man is a man. If he's heavy, I don't care. Bring it on. I don't care.
That's the attitude he had prior.
Yeah.
Prior to the fight, you're like...
But this boxing world has taken us to the weighing scales now, you know what I mean? We think, it's too heavy to me, 2 pounds heavier. So what? It's only...
The truth is, if you do nutrition properly and you're anything between 2 to 5, I'd say 2 to 7, depending on the person, pounds out, 4 days before the fight, you can easily just drop that water. If you've not dehydrated yourself at that point, if you've not done the wrong things at that point, you've got 7 pounds of water easy to lose.
That's virtually the number I looked at.
Yeah, hot bath.
7 pounds.
Hot bath.
If you can get there on nutrition, you'll do it. If you're like at the week of the fight, you're stone up.
Leave it alone.
Now you're gonna have to go the old school way, and you're gonna have to have the attitude of I'm gonna. If I was at that point, somehow I would never be in that situation. With the fact that you got 3 rounds. Because after 3 rounds, your performance has been affected, and now we're playing real life because you've dehydrated yourself to make the weight.
Burnt all the food inside
and all sorts in it.
Yeah.
You've not got the fluid on your brain.
Yeah, so the glycogen, which protects the body, and the liquid what rotates the brain, that's gonna come down to rehydrate your muscles, leaving you with a layer of no protection to your brain.
So it's like 48 or 72 hours to replenish glycogen.
That's right.
So you can't do it within
Precisely. So even if you sat there after the weigh-in and drunk 10,000 gallons, your body's just going to... Because it's like an egg timer, it needs to fill it back in.
Remember, like, the night before I fought, the weigh-in, he said, we're going to do the weigh-in at 8 a.m. in the morning.
Wow.
Obviously, Munguia wants to
eat
longer to... And I'm like, mate, they normally do it at like 2 o'clock. He said, we're going to do an 8 a.m. weighing in the hotel, and we're going to do a ceremonial weighing at 2 o'clock.
Just for sure.
I was like, mate, that's like nearly 2 days. So it is what it is. Like, and I understood the role. Obviously, it's Golden Boy Promotions. That's their guy.
Yeah.
And I tried to argue against it, but you just go, do you know what? I know me role there. You get what I mean? I'm not gonna win anything. They're not gonna bend over backwards to me. I just got to go in there. And it's the same attitude. I had the same with that when I fought Kanat Islam, because he had a doctor around him, and my dad like, why has he got a fucking doctor around him? And I was like, fucking doctor. You get what I mean? Like whatever he's doing, I don't know what he's doing. I'm not gonna accuse anything, but you might. I don't know what you need a doctor for, but I said if it's anything nefarious, like it's not gonna matter when I'm fucking jabbing him in his face. You get what I mean?
Did he look gaunt or anything when he had the doctor? Yeah. The doctor would have been monitoring his water levels. The thing is if you this has happened in cage fight in UFC. It's not happened in boxing yet. The divisions are so far apart in the cage fighting, like 11 stone, 12 stone, where we've got divisions where you can dehydrate it that much that your kidneys don't have any more liquor left and you just die. Literally, this happened. You get on the scale and you can't rehydrate the kidneys in time. By the time you're trying to put the water back in, the kidneys are totally drawn up. You just die. And people have died at 28, just died because they're trying to like really, really cut down in weight.
You know what I mean? It's crazy.
That's why boxing is still a little bit more safer with having 18 divisions. Them guys, they've got 6 divisions.
Like 145, 155, 170. It's like big gaps between.
Yeah, massive gaps. Heavyweight. They've got heavyweight, light heavyweight, middleweight, welterweight, lightweight, featherweight, bantamweight. So it's like 8 divisions or something in it. With 18 divisions in boxing. I think there's probably too many divisions. I actually think probably could do with a little bit less divisions in boxing, but it's safer.
Yeah.
For that reason. How long's that?
5 minutes.
How long do you think we've been speaking? How long have we been speaking?
He's done well. I told you.
I tell you what, we can leave it there because we're going to
come back.
We're going to carry on talking off camera, and we're going to come back.
We're going to definitely come back and
we're fans, and the reason we're fans as well is because the humility. Listen, there's fighters what fight at that level, and we know about him. But this is a humble guy.
Humble guy. This guy.
Yeah, definitely 100%.
Connection.
Yeah,
as soon as I walked in, I saw, man, he's cool.
Hey.
He's cool.
You need to have that as your nickname, by the way, the Assassin.
Assassin. Trust me, Assassin.
Get Assassin.
We named you. Excuse me, people.
Assassin.
This is a new Assassin. Welcome, Assassin.
The quiet assassin.
Silent assassin. Silent assassin.
The silent assassin.
Oh, hey. You like that name?
I think it's decent.
Tell the camera you like that name.
Silent assassin.
I know. Who named you? The 13th final round. Who named you?
Silent assassin. Yeah.
We named him Silent Assassin. Look out for this man.
You gotta get one of them, like, you know, on the game Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, the uniform.
Hey, you're not like talking, but you could come out and look the part though.
Just do that for the gimmick.
Wear them shoes as well. Them shoes.
Wear them with it.
Drop the kids off at school. Got obviously all the parents and that are there, and I always just keep myself to myself.
Yeah.
And I think as time's gone on, I think because obviously Tyson's brother, Shane, his kids go there and I speak to them. I think people sort of clocked like bit by bit, like, oh, he boxes him. But like, just keep yourself, just don't speak to me.
You know what
I
it
love
is?
it, man.
I think, I know you're going to keep yourself to yourself, but I think you're going to give him a bit of time because they're going to say he's got an attitude. He's not going to mind.
You know what you could be like?
You understand?
You know what you could be like is this, right? You got guys who are shit talkers. You're not that. But you got guys, let's say...
humble.
No, WWE, right? I'm going with this.
Yeah.
The Undertaker. You don't say no words.
Don't say nothing.
But he wears the uniform, he comes out. And his attitude. Thing is, so if you start coming out looking a certain way.
A gimmick like that.
Yeah, and fighting a certain way. That's into. Look at Mike Tyson.
Yeah, Tyson is a nice
when
guy.
Mike Tyson boxed in his prime, he didn't say nothing, did he? He just came out and let you know what business is, you know what I mean?
Let me tell you something. Mine was a Dark Gladiator, okay? My
Here
Dark Gladiator. I came on a
go.
Gladiator shield. Yeah?
Helmet.
No, just the shield and didn't smile nothing. Got a funny haircut. I didn't smile nothing, man. Just come on. But that was me.
Yeah.
Because I used to spend more time in Manchester. So I got that mentality to be aggressive and
the Manchester culture are mentally strong guys.
They do.
That's
you know what I mean?
It's the culture of Manchester.
I used to live over here for about 15 years and I trained over here, you know what I mean? Loved it over here, but the mentality was wicked. Yeah.
You get it, like initially it's like, oh, it's top, and you're looking at it and it's great.
You put it in your bed.
Mate, I've got six.
Six?
I've got 6 belts, yeah.
Wow.
So I put them under me. I've got 2 in the wardrobe, 1 behind me settee, 1 in the kitchen.
Nah. We
And
need to
I've-
like this.
Get him out, man.
Wall,
Get him out. Bring him here.
Yeah, I will. I've got 2 up. I mean, one becoming missus was like, too nice being in the wardrobe there. I was like,
Yeah.
So like, look, and she got to join around and put them up for us. And
Oh, that's nice.
Nice.
2 of them. And
Like
she's
this, man. Have it
Listen,
like this.
get your belts out. Be proud of him, man.
That's so I said, they haven't got any room, so she's like, we've got to get me a bigger house, don't you? So we can get more places.
Yeah.
If you
Get
need
man
any
cave.
advice, because he forgets that he's shown us on the video call, he's got a spare bedroom. He's set up as a shrine. He goes into his little shrine. And looks at
Oh,
his
my
little belt.
shrine. I've got all the
I
posters
see,
in
he's
fight.
coming-
In
he's
fight
coming out
posters
now.
I've been on. I even got a picture of me and Ricky as well. Yeah, me and Ricky used to train again. Me and Ricky.
I've got nothing like that. In the house.
I've got photographs.
Yeah,
I
you gotta
got
get it, man.
albums, photographs. I've always done it.
That's
I
the
know
one-
You're gonna.
That's the one regret I have.
Yeah, I've got
When we did it, there were
videos,
no-
photos, everything.
there were no phones, to take pictures.
Yeah,
so you felt awkward going up to someone. Can I get a picture?
We Polaroid.
Yeah, you're like like a Kodak thing, like a photo. But there's this guy called Jason Collins we trained with, and he did it all the time, and I felt embarrassed to do it. But
Listen,
social proof, innit?
I grabbed Barry, come in, took a picture, and now I look back and think, wow, I'm so happy. I've kept this material from my amateur days, all my videos.
Have you got some pictures
photographs,
taken?
Everything.
I've got pictures taken. I've got like loads on my phone, but I've not got any up in the house and that. I feel like
You can get
should
them
be
blown
proud.
up,
You should be proud. Take your phone, and get it blown up on the
You
thing.
can take your
On
phone
a
to
canvas.
someone, or you can go to Canva. It's free. Put it on Canva, upload it, press pay, and then get it sent in the post.
I think what it is, I think for me, it's like I go out the house and then I'm like Jimmy the Box when I come home, just dad, you know what I mean? And I'm dad and partner, and I don't want to see like the world of people go in your house. You got like all your boxes. I want people to come home. It's like, oh, this is like a family home. You know what I mean?
You know, boxing's outside. That's work.
You're mature for your age, man. You know how to do what most people do. You know how to departmentalize.
Balance your family.
It took
as well.
me ages to be able to come home from work. It's to come home from work and moan and all that, and then it just hit me. It's affecting my wife's moods in the house, and I left work where work is. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I could go deep on that one, but
Listen, we're gonna
You can go deep talk.
Go.
Man.
I think for me, like, I lost my mum when she was like 40. She died of cancer. I think like there was a couple of years of like limbo.
Yeah.
And I remember like thinking like, my dad was, men sometimes aren't equipped to like look after you in certain situations. I mean, like the nurture's there. So I think like for me is that the mum, like my mum's house was like her pride and joy. I think like when she passed away, it didn't seem the same. And so I think for me, like all my time is like into my kids. I think that's probably what like mature does, and that I mean, and you can sort of like put things into like the boxes. You get what I mean? And so I think like when I come home, like I always want to think like, I don't want it to just like, my dad's fucking living room full of like his belts and his and all that. Yeah, I mean, for me, it's like I want the kids to come home. And it's like
a mum feeling.
They need that woman's
thing. Your touch.
Listen, I don't need to be validated by having my belts up. You know what I mean? And people come around looking at them. I've got 2 up because my missus wanted to do it, but for me, I'm like, it's in there. You get what I mean? Me coming through hard 10-round fights and fucking pissing blood and spending a night in A&E after fights, like that's in there. I don't have to be. You know what I mean? That's self validation. I don't need someone to come up and go, you done all right there, which is nice. But I think for me, you know what I mean, I'm comfortable where you know.
Wow, that's deep, man. Do you know what it is? I've had to learn this in my life that self-confidence and self-esteem is 2 different things. People think it's the same thing. It's not. There's not so many people that got, I'm this and I'm that, portraying self-confidence. And then there's guys like Jimmy who are quiet. I'm not going to need to repeat it. Just what he said.
Yeah, man.
Where inside he's got good self-esteem because it's like, I don't need to let people know I know what I've done. Do you know what I mean?
I like that. Are you religious?
Catholic,
Amen. See,
I
knew that.
We're all Christians. We're all church goers.
We go to church, but I could feel something. I could feel something that you're humble. You got belief in yourself. So when you go in a fight, you pray. You have faith, and you go in a fight. You know you're gonna win. That's like with all of us when we score in our fights. We prayed, we go in our faith, and just believe. And that is good power. That really, really builds your faith up. That was well done, man. I like that, man.
Like I said, in reality, like we're here for a certain amount of time, and then we're gone. And you don't, you know, people have a big ego and they think like that the world evolves around them. But I've seen it like when it was good with that champs camp, because you see people like Ensley and Morris
and they're down to earth.
And Carl, and it's like
Carl down to earth, man.
The guys beat like David Hay, and without being horrible to him, like the public now like don't care. You know what I mean? Like people walk down the street and no one would recognise when you think if your sole purpose of doing something is for your ego and you want to be like, you're always chasing that. Then same with social media. I don't post that much on social media. Like, I think it becomes a drug then, and you're always chasing.
Trying to be somebody, what you're not. You pretend to be happy or whatever. That's what happens. Yeah. But obviously, you need that social media to promote yourself, to sell the tickets and stuff. Because tickets all about selling tickets. If you don't, there's
another way around that. So like what you've just said there. Is where I'm at. I can't stand social media, which sounds like I'm a hypocrite.
You are.
But I'm not on social media.
Yeah.
This is the trick.
Businesses, you use it, you don't use it.
Yeah. I don't control my social media. So I have a team that asks me to film my material. It's about 2-3 hours a week. Send it to them, they edit, they put it up, they deal with it, all the comments, likes, share. They deal with everything. I haven't been on social media for 3 months. And it's probably been the most peaceful 3 months since social media existed. You know what I mean? So do you think Anthony Joshua and all them people own social media?
I don't think they do.
No, they're not. They're like you.
Yeah.
So you can easily say to yourself, right.
Get someone to work for you.
And it's not as expensive as you think. Because you can outsource that like I do to people in the Philippines, which you can pay them a good wage and it's not much out of your pocket, and they can build your social media channel and they can help you that way.
Do that. I mean, that's the best way.
If that's something you're interested in.
Because you need a fan page. You need a fan page.
What I try and do, I go on and post and then come off. No people that like scrolling. It's like, look at him and look at him, the knobhead. What's he posting that for? And
no, don't. Listen,
sort of stuff
in this boxing career, you're always gonna have haters in here.
You're
always gonna have haters. So don't worry about that.
You need your haters.
That drives you to go and carry on winning.
I think even like it makes people judgmental, doesn't it? No, when people scroll through social media, you can imagine like, they're an oldie again. Yeah. And again, you compare.
They think that you're rich and that.
Yeah. And it's like, how they going there? What are they doing? And the reality is, people are trying to portray this perfect life.
Don't put your personal life on. Put stuff on for the fight to promote you. That's what you should put. Be training and stuff.
You can control the narrative.
You control what you put up. Don't put your personal life in your kids.
The celebrities do the same thing. You don't know nothing about what's going on in
the background. Look at Lennox Lewis. You never knew he had a kid. You know what I mean? He
didn't even know he had a wife. So
you know what I mean?
And people were speculating about his sexuality all the time. Do you know what I mean?
But he kept that. Even Joshua, we don't know if he's got a kid, but he's got a kid.
Has he got more than one?
He's got more than one kid. Yeah. But he don't put it out there. He puts his boxing. That's what you have to do. Stick with your boxing, your business. Boom. That's it. And also your personal training as well, what you do on the side. Yeah. Put that on to obviously get more customers when they see that and see what you're doing, put it together. That's what I do myself. I put my promotion stuff, but I never ever put stuff for my family or whatever on there. I never put my picture of my dad or my mum on there. Never do that.
Yeah, you control the narrative. Yeah, I understand the same thing.
Never do that. Always business to make some money out of it. That's what you should do. Anyway. That's enough for me chatting.
Listen, we're going to become friends, and we're going to speak a lot more.
I'll take your number. I'm going to link you up.
Yeah, definitely. 100%. Thank you for the time.
Let's close it.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in to the 13th and final round podcast.
Yeah. Please like and share.
Don't forget to hit that subscription button so you get the notifications.
Yeah.
We're here.
Tell a friend. We're here and we're out.
We are.